Hello, welcome back to another video. My name's Harrison, we're at Golf Base HQ, and today we're checking out the brand new Skytrak software. So Skytrak have just released their latest update. It's version 5.0117, something like that. Anyway, it's a huge update. They've got loads of brand new stuff, so quickly we'll walk you through it. So the first thing that we'll look at is the improvements to the practice range. So let's go over and open it up. So as you can see, normally pick your club, A-time. The first thing that you'll see is a massive wall on the left-hand side of the range, which is a new addition. If you then click on the top right here, practice area, it takes you to another page where you can then basically cycle through all these different ranges. So you've got the Skytrak range, which is like your normal range. You've got the wall. You've got right to left, which is where you're going to try and hit a draw. You've got left to right. And you've also got accuracy island. So let's go on the wall first so you can see what it looks like. Start practice. I'll grab a 7-iron and we'll hit some shots. Okay, so 7-iron selected. Pretty classic Skytrak. You've got all your data across the bottom, mini map on the right, little face to target, distance, but obviously we've got a giant wall in the middle. I'm not too sure what its function is. It's 35 yards away, but if it was me, if I was doing this, I'd probably be using it to try and hit like little punchy stingers in or something like that, or try and shape it right to left around it. So let's try and shape one around it and see what it looks like. There we go. So we've kind of started it straight. I've managed to shape it around the wall. Happy days. Let's see if we can actually try and hit one at it. Let's see what it does. I have to aim quite far left, I think. And it just bounces down and straight off it. So, I don't know, I guess it's kind of a little way of learning how to keep the ball down, I guess. If you're going to do that, again, aim left. Say if you did it a bit too high, it's just going to go over it. So yeah, it's probably quite useful if you're trying to learn how to chip the ball low. But yeah, I mean, the wall is pretty standard. So now we'll have a look at the shot shapey ones. So this is the right to left command range. So all you slicers out there, get on this. So you've got a tree in the middle, trees up the right, far right, a nice centre line, and obviously water left. So the definition of a perfect draw is a ball that starts right of target, curves back onto target, but doesn't cross the target line. So that's the reason you've got water on the left, because technically, even if the ball starts right, curves left, but then ends up way left of target, it's still a hook. So let's try and hit a little draw, which is quite nice. I'll just be setting myself a little bit up right of target. See if we can start it there and get the path to move to the right. So there, the ball started right, a little bit of curvature. I'll take that. That's a little baby draw. Tiny little draw. We'll try and hit another one. Well, let's try and put a bit too much curvature on, see if we can get it in the water. See what that does. So that starts straight, curves further left, and we get a nice little splash when it hits the water. So I think this is actually really useful, especially if you slice the ball. You know, you can stand on here with driver, any kind of iron, and just feel like your setup's going a little bit further to the right. You know, get some alignment sticks down and practice hitting the ball up the right-hand side of the hole without losing it to the right. So I think it'd be quite useful for at-home practice. That felt more like a block to me. Yeah, it's not curved in back as much. But, you know, as a practice tool, really, really good. And personally, I'd prefer to be doing practice like this, which is a bit more interesting than just standing on the range, smashing balls aimlessly, not really knowing what you're going to do. So, yeah, this is cool. I like it. Let's have a look at something else. So the final bit of the practice area is Accuracy Island, which, as you can see, is a floating island on a nice lake. I think Skytrak said it's about 30 yards wide off the top of my head, But again, you know, it's something that you can practice your dispersions with your irons all the way through to your drivers. Obviously, the further you get, the wider your dispersion is going to get naturally. So again, I think it'd be quite fun, something to do when you're practicing at home, just to kind of see where your dispersion's at, you know, with certain clubs. Like if you're going through wedges, it should be, you know, easier to keep it on the island than it would be with a 4-iron, 5-iron driver sort of thing. But again, I think it's interesting practice. Instead of just shelling balls on a driving range, hitting them into your screen and just seeing a bit of line and some data, it actually forces you to think a little bit more about what you're trying to do and what the shot that you're trying to achieve. I felt like a decent shot. A little bit up the left. And again, that's a good example of a dispersion, how you can you can hit one 20 yards right, 120 yards left. But as long as you kind of know how far left and right these shots are going, and as long as they're inside a certain tolerance, like what this sort of island is, that one was a bit more up the right. You're doing proper practice. So now let's get off this and let's have a look at the golf courses. So this is obviously the brand new course software for Skytrak, which I think is a huge upgrade. You no longer have to buy external software if you want to play golf on your Skytrak Plus or normal Skytrak. So first things first, layout. We were just saying this. I think it's a really smart layout. All the courses nicely across the bottom. You can scroll left or right. I think it just looks clean. It looks smart. Obviously, they've got Pebble Beach, Quail Hollow, Paris International, Innisbrook. So you get 30 courses with it. Pretty recognisable courses. More than enough for you to have a good amount of fun with. And they're probably going to add more to it as we go. So we'll have a look at Pebble Beach and we'll go through the features of it. So the first thing that you'll notice once you click your golf course, you've got a few options. You can choose full 18, you can choose front 9, you can choose back 9, or you can choose custom. So if there's like the flagship holes, kind of like, which was it, the 7th par 3, hole 18, you can literally just pick out those holes to play if you wanted to. So let's do that. Let's pick 7 and 18 and we'll click next. And then you've got your different options, auto putts, pin positions, wind speed, all that sort of stuff. Next, set up the players, golf bays. I'm only using a 7-iron, so let's go off the lights. Tee off. So, hole 7, Pebble Beach, very, very famous par 3. Luckily, we've got it on a flat, calm day. It's 104 yards, 29 foot downhill. I've found an old 56 that we're going to have a little go at. So, first of all, as you can see, graphics-wise, pretty similar to any other kind of course software, very similar to your GS Pros, your TrackMans, all that sort of stuff. Let's have a hit. Very smooth software. Oh, it's close. It's what he does. It's what he does. So 6 foot away, lovely shot. You get your data across the bottom. Auto put says 1.33. It gives auto put in decimals. I'm not really too sure why, to be honest. I guess all this stuff, because this is the first iteration of it, I imagine there's going to be loads of updates, loads of software updates coming along. That's just going to improve it with more courses and make it better. But again, like visually looking at that, it looks pretty cool, looks pretty real to me. You've got the houses up the right-hand side, classic, the sea coming in and all that sort of stuff. So again, we'll hit a shot and see what it looks like. Let's aim it a bit further right. Again, if you're using the little mini map, you can use your touch screen or your mouse, however you're using your simulator to choose where you aim. So a little 7-iron, see if we can find the fairway. That felt okay. Obviously all that practice paying off from Accuracy Island, straight down the middle. This is what we can do. And again, I think that's a useful way of using your simulator, is obviously using these different applications, such as your right to left, your left to right, and then instead of just using it on the range, you can then go on a hole like this, which is right to left or has trouble on one side, and you can use it while you're actually hitting to a target, which I think is really cool. Right, 252 yards. Let's get the fill at the right hand side, about there. A little bit thin, a little bit right, but you know, it's definitely a 3-shotter today. .154 to the flag. Grab a wedge. .154 in front of the clubhouse. Flag's on the right, on the left, sorry, so probably aim a little bit right. Not that far right. Bailed out of that one. That's good. So actually when you hit the trees, it hits trees, it doesn't go through it, so everything's, you know, rendered properly, which is quite cool to see. 39 yards, let's see what the short game's like on it. So a fairly tricky shot, 39 yards, over a trap. Let's see what it's like when the ball lands on the green from a chip out of the rough. Okay, nice. That's pretty good. And there you go. So, I mean, that's a pretty quick, basic overview of the new Skytrak Plus software. We'll bring you more courses as we kind of download them and as they update and all that sort of stuff and other new features. But I think currently, as a whole package, now that Skytrak have brought that out, the fact that you don't need any external software, you can have it all in-house and it's all integrated, is a huge, huge plus point. So if you enjoyed this video, drop it a like, comment if you'd like to see anything next, anything else, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.